let's talk about that bird called happiness. The writer of this book is Nabendu Ghosh. I picked up this book because it had a foreword by Gulzar. Gulzar was a name I recognized. Nabendu Ghosh was not. In the foreword, Gulzar said that he was appreciative of Nabendu's writing and that he respected that such an amazing scriptwriter comes from a literary background. Now I know that Nabendu Ghosh is a scriptwriter who wrote the films Abhiman, Devdas, Bandini, etc. But personally, I have never seen them, mostly because they're very old. But at least I've heard of Devdas. Still, I went into this book with almost zero knowledge of the writer. But now, I had an opportunity to read the stories that he has written. The Bird Called Happiness is a collection of short stories. There are 9 in total. It was his first book to be translated into English, and it was one that got him a lot of international fans, or so says the book cover. But anyways, on to the stories themselves. Every story either centers around love or happiness. Usually, both are so entwined that you can't differentiate one from the other. Every story follows a character that feels like a real person. It feels like the author is sitting down with you with a cup of tea and telling you about all the crazy people that he knows or he has met and what their stories are. There is also a good amount of heartbreak. One story is about karma, and there is another story which is about finding your life purpose, but both are told through the lenses of love. The story about karma follows the love of a father when he sees his daughter is troubled by the same societal judgments that he has been inflicting on others all his life. The love for his daughter and the anger towards society eventually pushes him to change his entire person. Similarly, the story about life purpose follows 2 people in love. When one of them dies following his life purpose, it hits the other so hard that she takes up his life purpose and makes it her own. Every other story in the book follows some kind of love. Either it's long lost love or love at first sight or being destroyed by love, so on and so forth. So you can say that except these 2 stories, everything else centers primarily on love. My favorite story, however, was the last one, in which a woman dictates letters that she wants to send to her husband from one side of the curtain, and the scribe writes it on the other side of the curtain. The 2 never see each other, yet somehow they fall in love. If I tell you a summary like that, it sounds dumb, doesn't it? It doesn't sound or look even remotely realistic, and I would myself never read a story if this was the summary that was given to me. But I must tell you that Gulzar was right. Nabendu Ghosh is a writer who understands human emotions and is able to convey the same in a way that the readers immediately are engaged and attached to the story. When I read the story, I still felt like the characters were real. It felt like this was something that can happen. And the best part about his writing is that at no point does he delve into what the characters are feeling. All of the feelings are conveyed through actions. You know that the heroine is having mixed feelings, not because you're told, but because you're shown. And what you're shown is not sweaty palms and blushing cheeks, no. What you are shown is a character doing things she hasn't done before and then shrugging when questioned. What you are shown is a character being hot and cold towards their lover and then blowing up on the maid who asks them why. And throughout it all, you know, as the reader, you know exactly what the character is feeling because somehow, for some reason, you feel the same. The reading experience is simply glorious. I'll be honest, I don't read a lot of Indian authors, neither modern nor classic, and I definitely don't read classic in any language. But I don't think I can call this book a classic, even though it is very old. Mostly because I don't have a proper understanding of what constitutes as a classic and what doesn't. But having said this, this collection of short stories does feel timeless. It feels real. And like I said, the reading experience is wonderful. The reading time is also very less as there are only 9 short stories. So if you're looking for a weekend read that's going to take you on the highs and lows of the emotional spectrum, then pick this up for sure. Also, if you're a writer and you need some understanding on how to write characters having mixed feelings, this book could be a great learning point. Anyways, that's all for this one. I'll see you in the next book.